Hello and welcome back here. It's been a couple of days since I last filmed. If you've been following along for the last week or so of Vlogmas, you'll know that on Wednesday I had a craft fair, my first Christmas market that I've ever attended as a stall holder, and it's now Friday, so it's been a couple of days since I last picked up the camera. And I thought I would just come in and give you a little brief overview of how I got on. So it was overall a really good experience. There was quite a lot of people, and people were buying little bits, it appeared. There was lots of chats, and it's interesting because I thought that because it was organised by the Whole Food Shop and it was in front of the Whole Food Shop, I assumed that it would mainly be customers from the shop walking through. Plenty of people walked past, plenty of people had a look, and yeah, I feel like I did quite well because I actually sold, let me just count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I sold 6 items during the day, and I made a total of €75. So I sold all the chickens, I sold the cow, I sold a pig, and I sold a sheep. So for a total of €75. And I was really chuffed with that. I didn't think that I would actually sell anything, to be honest, so that was really good. My friend who's the jeweller only sold a pair of earrings, so there was plenty of bread being sold next to me, which is kind of understandable, like that's quite an easy thing to sell on the market, I think. I think the seed seller on the other side of the baker was doing quite well as well. I think overall there were people, but they weren't necessarily there specifically for the market. So yeah, I felt like the other people, the beekeeper, he sold some like presentation boxes of honey, so I think that there were people there, but it wasn't like a destination that people were coming to. I think it was kind of, they just happened to be there. I know that my products were my products were underpriced, and they were possibly very underpriced. But interestingly, I felt, so like the most expensive thing I sold was €25, which was the cow, and then next came the piggy, which was 20, and 15 for the sheep. I feel like people were, because they weren't necessarily there to buy stuff, they had like a minimum amount that they were willing to pay, and so like the chickens all went because they were €5 each. And I did hear a few times like, oh no, that's too expensive, or like a little boy was looking at the stall and he brought his mum over, and oh, we can get a chicken because it's not expensive. So I was told by a couple of people that my stuff was not priced correctly, like it was too cheap. But I was also overheard, you know, people saying, gosh, that's too expensive, particularly for the dolls. So it was an interesting one. I'm really, really proud of like the money I made, because I have done one fair before, or like I participated in a wool festival in 2018, and I went there with my spinning wheel and a small table of like hand spun yarn. It cost me €10 to attend, and I sold 1 skein of yarn for €10, so I like paid for the exhibiting fee. But I was mainly there like spinning and showing people like how spinning works, and so I spun like the whole day, but that was really tiring, and it didn't like encourage people to buy my yarn. People were really intrigued, and they came and looked and asked questions and wanted to see, but it didn't bring me anything. Like, it brought me satisfaction because I really enjoyed doing it, and made me feel sort of like, yeah, you know, that I was sharing my craft, and it's a little known craft these days, and it's sort of was there to say, well, this is why my yarn's so expensive, sort of thing. But yeah, I know that I wasn't quite like correct with my prices, but I really didn't feel confident in myself to put them any higher. And I found the whole day, most of the day, I felt really shy. I was really happy just to kind of hide behind my stool. I did try to, I moved my chair to the side actually just before the baker came. So it wasn't behind the stool, but then the baker came and she set up next to me, quite close to me, so I had to then move back again. But yeah, I had, I think that it was great having the dolls on the stall. I wasn't expecting to sell any, so I wasn't surprised I didn't. But I felt like they drew people in, which was really nice. It gave a bit of height to my stall, them sat in the doll cradle, and the colours, I was really pleased with like, the colours, and it brought people over, and then they were able to see the animals, and it was the animals that were like really popular, so that was good. Like I know now that you know, like I'd make some more hens like in the future, because I only had 3. My horses, it's funny, a few people like pick them up and say, oh, these are beautiful, but no one bought one. So like I'm saying, oh, it wasn't priced correctly, but maybe that like they thought that €25 was too much. I don't really know. I think if I took my stall into a different context and it was like a specifically Waldorf place or like a wool festival, I think that people are going there with the intention of like taking some money and coming back with something. So I know that you know, I feel quite lucky what I was able to sell. The interesting thing was, it was good seeing people's reactions to stuff that it was like getting feedback. So not only like, oh, it's too expensive, or oh, it's not expensive enough. There was also just the physical thing of people holding one of the items or like picking them and not being like, oh, this is so rough, because I use a lot of quite rustic wool. Oh, this is itchy, this is scratchy. Like the cowl was probably made from the most rustic wool I have. And you know, the little girl whose grandma kindly bought it for her, she was just walking around with it, cuddling it the whole time, like the rest of the time she was there. So so that was really positive. It gave me an opportunity to see that actually people were happy with like rustic wool, because it wasn't like I was selling baby hats. I found that like children were really attracted to my stall, which I loved. It put a few parents sort of into embarrassing situations because the children wanted things and the parents weren't going to buy anything, and there was one little girl who really got into floods of tears over something. The poor thing. That was the beekeeper's daughter actually, so that was, you know, difficult, but it was good to see children like got what I was doing. And because my stuff looks really simple, you know, it is fairly simple to make. You've got to do it though. It is time and effort. It takes a couple of hours, for example, to knit and stuff and sort of make up like one of the horses, for example. It might even be 3 hours. But it's not like all flashy, you know, there's not flashing lights, it doesn't move, it's not made of plastic, it's not like perhaps like other toys most children around here usually have, and yet they were attracted. And particularly the dollies, like there were a few little girls and one little boy who really like were drawn to the dollies. So all of that was really positive, and I came away feeling like overall really positive. You know, the money I made was great, like it's paid for some of my materials, even though it didn't pay perhaps for my labour. But I feel, you know, it was a really good experience for a first time, and I would definitely do this market again if it runs again next year. And I would really try to sign up early, you know, over the coming year, make up stuff that I would be able to exhibit, and yeah, look out for similar opportunities, like similar markets locally. Yeah, it's sort of, I suppose, trying to juggle between, you know, in-person and online selling, and is it less effort to sell online? You don't have to make up stock so much. You can just sort of have a few items made up, and then you add to that. I'm thinking of, like, if I open my Etsy shop up to this side of what I do, but at the same time there's the stress of, like, is the person going to be disappointed when it arrives at home? Is it going to get lost in the post? Is the postage going to be just too expensive? Like, it would cost me 25 euros to just send something to America, and is that off-putting? So all of those things are, like, you have to weigh them up. And I did really enjoy being there in person. I really enjoyed sort of being with the other stallholders. It made me feel sort of quite proud of myself by the end of the day, even if most of the day I was kind of like this, really embarrassed and struggling to sort of like, I was fine when people walked past and I was smiley and said bonjour and everything, and the interactions were good when someone did actually stop to interact, but yeah, I felt really shy and lacking confidence, and I know that that's reflected in as I said, in the prices I put. But I think that it's the kind of thing you have to do a few times, and it hopefully would build up my confidence in time. And and yeah, you know, that is an advantage, because it is good to take my stuff personally, sort of in person, out into the world, and to show people I'm here and what I do. So yeah, that's why I'd say overall it was really good. It was very tiring. Like yesterday I felt really depleted and sort of really struggled to do much at all other than rest. I have been in bed all morning. It's now coming up for 12, and I've just got up to brush my teeth and just make this little video for the day. So again, I have to weigh that up, like, does 75 euros reflect all of the hours that I've been putting in the last couple of weeks, and all the energy it took for the day, and the energy it steals from the next days. So again, that's an important thing to consider, because I made 75 euros from the market, but the day before I sold one of my little bears. It's a bear this size, and he got sent off to Portugal, and I made 85 euros for that. The bear cost 85 euros, so I took in 85 euros with much less energy expended, and that's the final thing. I was sat there, so I had the dolls, I had the animals, and behind the stall with me I was knitting. I had some knitting, so I cast on a little jumper for a teddy bear, a little cardigan. This is with the pattern, that's the back, so it's a cardigan. Can't really see it. It's with this lovely teal blue, or teal green, and in order to make sure that the size was correct, I had Poppy Bear with me. So I made Poppy this little, well, she's wearing it, I made this little teddy bear cap pixie hat. That was the first thing I made in the morning, and then I cast this on after lunch and really enjoyed just sitting there knitting. I was, apart from being a bit cold, I really enjoyed just being somewhere outside where I was knitting all day, so in a way it kind of didn't matter if people bought anything or not. But having Poppy there, I really was like, oh, I want to have bears on this stall. And I know that had I had bears, they wouldn't have sold at all. But again, would it have got me known a bit locally for that? I don't know. It's something I really have to think about, because again, I would just like people to actually be able to physically touch and cuddle and hold. And I know, well, I think if I were to attend a bear festival, teddy bear festival, I think people are there to buy teddy bears because they're collectors, or to see teddy bears because they're collectors. So I know that not everyone would like my style of bear or be attracted to it, but there would possibly be 1 or 2 people who would maybe buy something. But at the moment, attending a teddy bear festival is just not at all possible for me. They're too far away, it would be too expensive to go, I wouldn't be able to go on my own. And so I'd have to go on my own, and that would be hard. So yeah, it's all food for thought. Sorry if this is a bit sort of chopping around a bit. It's hard to it's taken me a few attempts to record this because there's sort of a lot of different ideas and things whizzing around in my head, which often what happens when I'm very tired and my brain is just working hard and I'm just struggling to keep up with it. So yeah, overall I'd say a 5 out of 5 experience, and I'm really, really grateful for all of your like support and cheering me on from the sidelines. I've had so many lovely comments on my last few Vlogmases regarding the craft fair. I can really feel like people have been rooting for me, and that has just been so wonderful, because many of you I will never meet in person, but to have you like thinking of me, and which is just so lovely, and I'm really, really grateful. And it's the same on Instagram. Like, I just put up a little picture of my stall, and I was like flooded with private messages. I haven't even started opening any of them yet because there's just so many. So yeah, I really want to thank you for that, and I'm really so grateful that you're here and that you're joining me in Vlogmas this year. And I know that the craft fair has kind of dominated the countdown to it, and I'm kind of pleased now that it's passed, and for the last few days of Vlogmas we can talk about other things, but I just wanted to sign in here for today and let you know how I got on, and yeah, just to say how grateful I am for your support. And I'm really, really heartened to know that, you know, my little activity in my corner that makes me feel shy, you know, it resonates with so many people around the world. That's just so lovely. I'm really, really grateful, and yeah, I'm so proud of what I achieved on Wednesday. I'm really proud of my little family as well, and grateful for all their support. The children have been really wonderful about it and so excited. And on the day, in the morning, my little boy was drawing me little like business cards, so with teddy bears, and he made this one which I just love. So it's a woolen hearted bear, and he wanted them on my stall, and he photocopied them so I could give them out. And because I didn't have any teddy bears, I didn't actually put it on my stall. But again, that made me think, oh yeah, I'd love to have teddy bears sometime out on a stall just to show them to the world. So yeah, I'm gonna sign off now. This has been a very long, rambly one, but I think it needed to be. I didn't film at all what I was doing. I was so shy, so the little bit of footage I put at the end was like the 2 seconds that my son had the camera, and I don't know why it didn't. He thought he was filming much more, but it didn't. For some reason it didn't film. So yeah, I didn't film like the other stall holders or anything because I was just too shy, but I think you can get a flavour of it anyway. So yeah, thank you. I look forward to coming in again, signing in again over the weekend. Solstice is coming, and that is really exciting because the light is coming back again, and it's a very powerful time of year for me. This moment when the light returns, it means a lot to me. So yeah, we'll be celebrating that in our own quiet way over the weekend, and the holidays begin today, so the children will be at home, and we're hopefully going to have some lovely cozy moments as we count down to Christmas. So once again, thank you very much for being here. Take care, and I look forward to signing in again over the weekend.